Good morning, brothers and sisters. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm so excited to be bringing in a message, a call from the ancestors today. We'll see what it's about. We'll see what they want to bring in. I always first love to get us both aligned, or all of us aligned in truth, in our heart space, in acknowledgement, because ultimately this is never to take away your agency. It's never to tell you what to do. It's just to enhance your own spiritual space, your own journey. And so really being connected to your heart center is so powerful to be able to say, okay, I'm hearing this. How can I act? What's my next step? How can I move forward in a way that's authentic and truthful in your space and in your heart center? So I'm just gonna hurry and put a little bit of my favorite oils here on my crown chakra and on my third eye. I love to use frankincense, one of my favorites, to just activate and open up all channels. This is an Idaho blue spruce that I put on top of my head. It just opens up. If I can feel it open up and create that beautiful space. So as we get started, I have a little bit of sage that I'm gonna burn as well. Sage is to clear and to cleanse. So I'm gonna have us just take a 3 deep breaths in before we get started here. Beautiful. May we be aligned with light, with love, with purpose, to heed the call of our ancestors, to see what they have to say and how we can move forward. We ask that our hearts may be opened and softened, that we may hear what it is that we need to hear and be able to move forward in those action steps. We thank you, and we're open to hear your call. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm just gonna, once again, just kind of breathe this in into the collective of what it is that we need to be hearing at this time. I'm just going to surrender and allow the voices and the thoughts and the messages to just flow. I'm kind of questioning how I want to do this, what that needs to look like, and it's like, no, just trust and just experience the process. It almost feels like there's this collective space of feeling lost and feeling a little bit unsure about life, and that could also come across as maybe not knowing how, or not knowing the next steps to take, or maybe even second guessing what we want to do or to find fulfillment in life. It can be so easy for us to feel stuck, or for us to put so much significance on something that we don't move forward at all because we don't want to be crippleized, or we don't want to be offset that we made the wrong choice, causing us to not make a choice at all. And I feel like our ancestors are saying that this is generational, and that there's been so much of it has to be the right way, it has to look the right way, it has to show up the right way. And I feel them saying, no more. It's time for us to embrace this imperfection of life, and to really, life is messy, and that's okay. It's okay to be messy. It's okay for life to not feel perfect. But I just see them saying that, like, as much as there's this creation space that's flowing through us at this time, I feel it in like this circle, like this spiral, like my body's spiraling. But it feels as though we can get lost, we can get sucked up into the tornado, we can get sucked up into what this world needs. The physical things, of course, we need money, we need finances, we need food, we need housing, we need clothing, we need all these things in stability, that it feels that it needs to be stable. But how often or how much are we putting on who we are as a label for what it is that we have? or what it is that we need. We need the bigger house, we need the better cars, we need the best clothes. And of course we want to look good, we want to feel good. And having physical desires is not worldly. It's not pulling us away from, it's not unholy. But if we over-identify with anything, they say then it becomes a hindrance. And that goes with substances, with addictions, with, you know, someone could have, maybe they don't have an alcohol addiction, but they have a chocolate addiction, where they're eating so much chocolate every day that it's buffering them, or it's just as much as a holdback as maybe someone that has a different kind of addiction. And it's when we over-identify saying, this makes me happy, I'm not happy unless I have this chocolate, or I'm not happy unless I have this car, or I won't be happy until I have this dream house. But the thing is they say, is that our life is so fragile, it's so fleeting, it's so pure, it's so beautiful, that if we only focus on what we need, we lose the whole point of what it is that we have and what it is that we experience, because none of those things are taken with us. Of course, we want to have nice things, and that's not an unholy wanting, but how much are we willing to lose the experience of life to gain those things that aren't going to come with us in the long run? They're not going to come with us in the next space. It might be something that we remember, but it's not who we came here to be. And our souls are here for so much more. Our souls are here to create and to experience connection, to experience this physical connection to Mother Earth, to each other, to a partner, in creating, in a job, and feeling needed in an environment or a community. And also when we over-label in that space, we lose who we are there as well. And I see our ancestors just say, there have been many of us who have left, who have gone on, who look back and see how we gave up who we were to the labels of the world, instead of allowing us to be free for who we came here to be. Our spirit is such a high being. It's such a message of love and of light and of understanding that we can forget that at times. We can forget the purpose, the happiness, the joy, the wonder, because we're so focused on here. And as they cross over, it's like, this is changed to this. And they see a much broader perspective, but they don't see all of it yet. It's a continual process of learning, of growth, of knowledge, of understanding. And none of it's bad or wrong. And they say, we're here to help us. We're here to help you. We're here to help you grow. We're here to help you acknowledge who you came here to be. And that's going to look differently than what the world always says it needs to be. You know, we see these people who are living a big life, or who dare to dream, and we think, wow, I wish I could be as courageous as them. But guess what? They're in the same boat as we are, except they're daring to do it. They're letting go of their labels. They're letting go of that space. So I'm asking them, what can we do to relieve those labels so that we can stay here and we can really, really grow and to fulfill and to achieve here? What does that look like? Remembrance in who we are. Okay, I'm just listening a little more here. In my mind, I see like 6 people circling, like in this half circle, that are here to share the message, to be a witness, to move this space into light. And so I'm just sitting here with them. Okay, I'm going to the first ancestor. I feel as though this ancestor is is talking about how we have a checklist of things to do, and he says throw away the checklist of things to do today, because when we're so busy figuring out all the things to do, of course we have that fulfillment, but at the end of the day we're drained, we're exhausted, and we don't feel as fulfilled. What needs to be on our checklist of things, you could say, today is, who do I want to be today? What do I want to experience? No, what connection do I want today? And focus on that connection. Focus in on, maybe you have a checklist of things to do and your house is a mess, or you have a million projects to do. And it's so easy to say, hey, put on a show, shut up and go sit down, don't talk to me, I gotta get my stuff done. Or stare at the screen, numb out, instead of really tapping into that creation space. And I feel like at some point we'll talk more about that. But they're just saying it's important to let go of the checklist of things to do, and really take a few deep breaths in and say, what does my soul want to experience today? And maybe that's going for a walk. Maybe that's playing a game, It doesn't have to be a significant thing of traveling. I need to go travel. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do this. Because once again, that's putting an expectation on how we need to show up and what we need to experience in the world. That's a label that I can't live a heart-centered life if I'm not doing things big. Which, of course, there are times where we go and travel and we want to experience things, but those aren't the daily, day-to-day actions that are actually what life is about. Life is about those day-to-day actions. It's about those day-to-day moments and those day-to-day memories. And it's kind of reminding ourselves of that a little, reminding us that we're more than just this experience. And if we take a step back and we say, wow, I'm only going to be here for a short amount of time. I only have these connections in my life, and I don't know when they're going to go. I don't know when they're going to pass. I don't know how they're going to pass. It gives us permission to experience connection or see the significance of connection. And then they go back into saying it's so easy for us to see that, feel it for a moment, and then go back to the checklist of things to do. So even if you do have a checklist, on that checklist, please put, what connection do I want to have today? What connection with myself? What connection with others around me? And what connection do I want to have with my higher power, with God, with the universe? Those three things, to give ourselves this space of going to bed at night and feeling soul fully filled instead of busily filled. And I think that's a beautiful reminder. And it's so pretty outside right now. It's enjoying the time outside. It's enjoying Mother Earth. It's being outside in nature for a while. It's taking those times to notice the blue skies, or to notice the trees around, or to notice those simple things. Because those simple things help us live in the present, which helps us remember that we're more than what's going on, because our mind runs rackets. It runs over and over and over again. How many times have we said, oh man, that conversation didn't go how I wanted it to. I should have done this, or this, or this, or this, or this, or I should have said this, or I'm going to say this. Where it's like the whole day we're focusing on what we could have done, or what we should have done, or what we're going to do. Then we miss it. We miss why we're here. And they're once again not judging us. They just want us to know that they experienced this. They suffered for us in a lot of ways. That doesn't mean they have to carry our burdens, or we carry their burdens, or any of that. It just means that they said, we already lived life like that. And some of us really did dare to dream. And some of us really kept the hidden space of, I have to show up this way. And it has to look like this. It has to feel like this. And once again, I see them go like this and say, no more. No more. It's time to move forward. It's time to be who you came here to be, to tap into that space, to remember that labels don't define you. They're an experience that you have, but they're not who you are. And even if it's writing a list of things to do, maybe it's like, okay, this is who I am. I am labeling yourself. I am a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a spirit medium teacher, I'm an inventor, I'm a doctor, you know, whatever it is that you label yourself, writing it all down on a piece of paper. And giving yourself gratitude and space, like, wow, this is amazing at who I am. And give yourself a space to say thank you. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for who I am. I'm grateful for these roles that I can play. And then take a step back and take 3 deep breaths in. Now, who am I really? Your spirit is so significant. Your spirit is so much more than this physical journey. And your ancestors are here to help you remember that. They're here to help you heed the call. Listen to their voice. And to help you remember that you are so much more than these labels that we place upon ourselves. I hope you have a great day, brothers and sisters. I'd love to close all of my channelings, all of my messages, close the space so that there's nothing else that comes into my space or into our space as we do so. I love to use Palo Santo. It's a very beautiful holy wood. Smells amazing and it fills. We thank you, angels. We thank you, our ancestors, for delivering this message and reminding us who we truly are. Namaste.